Hi everybody, my name is Jonathan Bakebwa. I am the creator and maintainer of Chakra UI Vue, and I'm excited to be here at VueConf US to be talking about Chakra UI with you, and I'm really excited. So let's get into it. So tonight my talk is going to be about what is coming to V1 of Chakra UI, and perhaps for those of us that are not yet familiar with Chakra UI, what is Chakra UI? So Chakra UI Vue is a component library that is built around accessibility, that allows you to rapidly prototype user interfaces whose theming API is also extensible. So that way you can build beautiful and accessible applications with speed. That is the sort of like the alma mater of Chakra UI Vue. So Chakra UI is also available not only in Vue.js but also for React. So if you're a React developer and you're watching this talk, feel free to also check out Chakra UI. Go to chakraui.com, go to vue.chakraui.com, and you can learn more about what Chakra UI is and what we are doing and what our vision is. Cool. I wanted to start out by showing what people have built with Chakra UI. And you can build interfaces like blogs, such as this one. Somebody built this really beautiful blog. I thought to feature it as well here. And you can also build, actual enterprise applications. And this was built by it's used by Memorial Health Systems, and they're using it to schedule vaccinations for COVID. And I thought it was really good because this is a kind of a validation for the fact that the Chakra UI components are actually accessible and they're being used in healthcare systems for which you expect that the interface is accessible to all its users. And we also have, people have built interesting landing pages. I thought this was really cool and fancy. People also built like very data heavy applications as well. So this is one job applications, I believe, that is based in Indonesia. I thought this was really beautiful. You can also build landing pages as well with Chakra UI Vue, and this is a really interesting project as well. Interestingly, somebody built this, rebuilt their blog accidentally because they were trying out Chakra UI Vue, and I thought it was funny, so I thought I might, take a screenshot and add it into my slides just to show you how convenient it is to use. And hopefully today you can learn a few things and see that it's actually possible to build accessible apps that are beautiful. It doesn't have to be a pain to do so. And this is the website that she built. This is her blog. Her name is Alina Nikoleva, I believe. I hope I didn't butcher that. And this entire application is actually dark mode ready, and I thought this was really good. And there's also this Instagram clone that I built. It's not really Instagram, in case you're wondering, but it's just to demonstrate how flexible the theming API is. So great, what about growth? So Chakra UI has been available for about 8 months now at the time of recording this talk. And within the last year, these are some of the things that we've achieved. We've hit, 550 plus downloads per month in 1 year, which I think is really good. And we've also had, 1,000 stars on GitHub. Our team has grown to 6 core contributors and 20,900 people on our Discord. We share the Discord with React, in case you're wondering, the React team. Yeah, and I think this is something worth celebrating. So to all our contributors and to all the people that support Chakra UI, thank you very much. I believe we still have a world to conquer, but this is really impressive, and I believe it's only going upward from here. So what's coming to version 1 of Chakra UI, which we have conveniently named Chidori because it is hard to say Chakra UI Vue for V1, Vue V1 for Vue 3. It's a bit difficult, it's a bit of a mouthful. So Chidori was the code name that we came up with, the community shared with us. So what's coming to Chidori? The biggest thing that's coming to Chidori is an improvement in the theming API. And this will allow you to customize Chakra's internal components as well as author your own custom components. We also improved the tooling such that we can give and provide better developer experience when working with Chakra UI. And we've also done a lot of internal work with the maintenance of the code base and to also make it easy for other people to contribute. So it's something I'm actually interested in having more people get to know of. So if you're interested in contributing to Chakra UI, you can do so quite easily. And we'll also be providing some pro UI components, and all of these things I'm going to labor to show us a bit more about tonight. So what about theming? Let's talk theming. So in the component theming API, we improved the developer experience for customizing Chakra UI components. So you can also define custom variants. You can customize the sizes of the different components. You can also create your own sizes. And we also exported the a Chakra factory function that you can use to Chakra UI-fy different components in your Vue application. And you can also create and theme your own UI applications. So in a sense, what this theming API has provided a gateway for you to has provided a language for you to create your own components using with Chakra UI's styling API, and which is really powerful. And I don't think I'll be able to demonstrate everything with creating your own Chakra UI components because of time in this talk, but I'm going to show you how, just a high level implementation of what can you do with V1. What are you going to be able to do with Chidori? So let's talk about theme overrides. So I'd like to override the styles of, say, a button component. So in order to do that, we created a components key inside the theme object. This is how it works. So when you import Chakra and you register the plugin, under the extend theme property, we have a components.button, and then you can provide the default styles that all Chakra UI buttons within your application will inherit right under that property. And here's what it looks like in practice. So here is a basic checkout button, but we have a design system that our designer gave us because they use Figma, and Figma people are fancy, and they give us these files with different styles, and for some reason, let's say you don't want to have to rewrite the entire button because it looks different, because a button's a button. You just need to make it appear differently. So the way that you would do this is in Chakra UI, you can then import the extend theme function from Chakra UI, and this will give you access to the entire theme object, and then we'll give you some APIs to override it. So under the components.button.base style key, we then change the color of the button. We can change the font family, text transform. You can change as many properties as you wish to change, and you can even provide some hover and focus states, some pseudo states as well. And we can also change the focus color of the focus rings, and you can also use CSS variables to access the theme properties, essentially. So then we import our theme and then provide it into our plugin under the extend theme option, and voila, we have a button. And all Chakra UI buttons within your application will inherit these base styles, and they can also be overridden, as I will show us later on. So what about creating custom variants? So you can now create your own variants in Chakra UI. And the way that you do that is, again, under the extend theme.components.button.variants option, you can define your own variants, which are also color mode aware. And the way that you do that is you would feed it a function with the props, and you can use the props to change the values of the styles. But we don't need to do that for this demo. And so this is what it looks like. So continuing from our previous example, we had this checkout button, and now we'd like to add a cancel button, but the cancel button shouldn't have the same visual hierarchy as the checkout button. So we wanted to have the checkout button have like a primary feel to it. So under our theme object, again, we'll then create a variants option, and under variants we define the primary variant, and we then give it a few styles. We want it to have a border, want to have it a more solid background, we want to change the text color, and when the user hovers over it, we want to slightly darken the style of the button, and we then save. And then to access that variant, we then pass in the variant prop with the name of the variant, and voila, we have a primary variant button, just like that. And you can create your own variants. You can name them whatever you want, it's all up to you. So what about creating custom sizes? You can also do the same thing using the same API. Theme.components.button.sizes. You can create your own sizes. And this is what it looks like in practice. So most Chakra UI components export a button, export like a component with like a size prop. So the button has a size prop, for example. Let's say you need something that's, bigger than like what we usually ship. So we can then create a component here. Let's put mega in it, and we still want it to be a variant primary, and let's give it a size of mega. And this is going to break the button, as you can see, because we don't have the size mega defined in our theme. So under the theme object, we'll then create, I actually made a typo here at the time I was recording this, but this object of mega should be under the sizes property. So you'd have mega, you can give it a height of 120 pixels, a width of 200 pixels, give it a font size of like, extra large. At this point, it still breaks because I didn't put it under the right key, but now it's working. Okay, I type sizes, and then we put in the mega size and the definition for the mega size, the styles for the mega size, and voila, we now have a mega button in our application, which is amazing, just like that. So the other thing that we exported with the theming API is this Chakra factory function, and the way that you use it is to essentially make you Chakra UI-ify your components. So you can take in a regular component from any file, from any view as single file component or whatever, and just pass it into Chakra. And you pass it into this Chakra factory function, it gives you back a component that you can style using the Chakra UI props. And here's a demo of what that looks like. So here we have this hello world component that's been scaffolded by us by the Vite CLI. And so I'm going to import it into this app.vue.js file. And having imported it, I am then going to render it inside the template so you can see it such that it's visible. So we know it really does exist. And we do that by typing hello world. And okay, it shows. We'll pass in a few props to make sure the props are actually working. Good. And we'll try and do some Chakra style props. And you notice that they will not show because it doesn't know what these are. So we'll then import our Chakra function from Chakra UI view. And we'll then create a new component called see hello world and pass in our hello world component. We'll then rename the component inside our template to see-hello world, and with any luck we should see the red level 400 level red in the background, as you can see. And give it some padding, give it some change the background color again so that it's more visible, and there it is, just like that. Currently in 0.x, you can actually implement this using the vchakra directive, and we'll also be shipping that as well in this version. But if you needed, a more, lower level implementation of this, you can still use the Chakra factory function. So what about accessibility? What other things are we adding to the library? Chakra UI components are already built with, WAI ARIA accessibility compliance. But we'll also be providing a few JavaScript hooks that you can use in your application. For example, you can manage animations and transitions using the use reduced motion hook. We'll also be providing a use skip link, so you can also manage the skip links within your app. We're also providing a use announcer hook that you can use to announce peripheral information to users that use screen readers. And another thing I'm particularly also excited about is that we are migrating most if not all of our component tests into end-to-end testing with Cypress 7.0, which I believe Jessica is going to be talking about today, and I hope that everybody enjoys that talk, because I love what the team is doing at Cypress. And this will allow us to ensure that all Chakra UI components behave the same way that they would inside a browser environment. So in summary, the new theming API is helping us to rapidly author fully custom UIs on top of Chakra UI without having to sacrifice accessibility. Just because you have your design system looks different, it doesn't mean that you have to rebuild everything from scratch, including rewriting the button accessibility, adding the spinner loading props, doing all this just because you have a different Figma file. I don't think this is useful for developer resources. But with Chakra UI, it's very much bring us a step closer to bridging the gap between accessible UIs and design. So you don't have to be locked into Chakra UI's default. Chakra UI is made so you can override the styles and change the way components look. So what about tooling? So when it comes to tooling Chakra UI components, we've also created Chakra UI components auto importing. We've made this possible both for Webpack and with Vite. So you don't have to import and register all components globally. You can import them as you need them, as you can when you consume them, and it also does it with tree shaking, so you don't have to worry about all that. So in your template, you just use the component and we'll handle that for you. So what about TypeScript support? We're now providing type definitions for all the Chakra components. So if you're using TypeScript, you will benefit. And also if you're using JavaScript as well, you also get IntelliSense as well for the plugin and theme extension IntelliSense. We'll also be exposing some internal hooks that we're using within the within the project, such as like the use theme, the use color mode, use clipboard, use focus lock, so you don't have to install another third-party library, so you can reuse these. You can do some of these small things, and some of these things are being used within the library, so we're then exposing them for consumers in case you might need some extra functionality. We'll have a special section in the documentation for these. So what about maintenance and contribution to Chakra UI? A lot of changes have been made. For the V1, we have rewritten the entire code base from scratch in TypeScript, and it makes it easy for we have more confidence shipping to the users, as well as for contributors as well. It also makes it easier for you to contribute. We also set up a new monorepo with grouped packages, so there's better code organization, and we're proud of making improvements to it daily. We've added 3 core team members, so more people are working on Chakra, and we're always looking for people to help and contribute around the community. So if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out to us on Discord. And if you would like to contribute in code and just write components for Chakra UI, we also wrote a very comprehensive contribution guide, so feel free to do so, to read it and and contribute. So when it comes to Pro UI components, what are we talking about here? So we provided a set of pre-built more advanced UI components on top of Chakra UI that you can use for your applications and for your marketing pages. All of these components are built on top of Chakra UI, and you can see they're already available for React, and will be, once Vue 1.0 is released, we'll then begin to do some early work on the pro version of Chakra UI Vue. And you can already see on the right hand side that there is a very beautiful vertical steps component that doesn't ship with the raw library, but it can be built with the raw library, or you can just get it from pro.chakraui.com. So Vue 1.0 is all about reducing the amount of code that you need to write and being able to increase your productivity, so you can focus on what your users want. And you can already start experimenting with it. You can do so by running yarn add Chakra UI Vue-next. And you should also take note that it's an experimental alpha release. The public API is not going to change. Most of it's not going to change. It's only the internal. Probably some of the internals will be moved around. So most components are all going to stay the same way. So feel free to try it out, check it out, and play with the API, and let us know what you think. We're on Discord, or we can check out our GitHub as well. And to find out more about Chakra UI, get involved in the community, we have a documentation site. Yay! And so feel free to visit our documentation site to learn more about Chakra UI, what it's about. And follow us on Twitter as well, Chakra UI_Vue. And you can also follow us on GitHub and go check out what we're doing, see our roadmap, see what we're working on. And you can also join us on Discord. The link to the Discord is also in the documentation site. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for listening to me and for being a part of this conference. And I look forward to you trying out Chakra UI. And I wish you a great rest of your day. Cheers.